Indiana, all of that is heading our way, unfortunately, just in time for the weekend, leading to some wet conditions. I'll be breaking down all of your forecast details and timing coming up. And a tragic situation in Southeast Asia. At least 150 people are dead after an earthquake struck the region. Plus, at our weekend forecast today, my friend Jennifer Lambers has everything you need to know. And Jen, it could be a pretty soggy weekend, right?
Yeah, that is
you. Well, at least 150 people are dead and dozens more unaccounted for after a devastating earthquake in Southeast Asia. Now, the impact and aftershocks felt across multiple countries. Fox News Chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel has more.
Frightening moments in Southeast Asia as a massive earthquake shakes at least two countries. The U.S. Geological Survey reports the epicenter was in Burma's second largest city of Mandalay. The 7.7 magnitude quake was followed by another very strong 6.4 magnitude aftershock. The impact felt hundreds of miles away in the Thai capital of Bangkok. The tremors were strong enough to cause buildings to sway. You can see water sloshing out of this rooftop swimming pool. A tourist says there was a rush to get outside when everyone realized what was happening.
The building started really moving and yeah, a lot of screaming, a lot of panic, people running the wrong way down the escalators.
Dozens were trapped under the rubble after a building collapsed in Bangkok. Rescue workers say the rubble is still too unstable for them to search for survivors. The extent of the damage and death is still unknown. Those who evacuated buildings were urged to stay outside in case of more aftershocks. Many describing the experience as surreal.
Then I got up and then I felt myself swaying a little bit.
I thought I was fainting because everything suddenly shaking.
Burma's military-run government declared a state of emergency in 6 regions and states, including the capital. The country's been in ongoing civil war since 2021, which could complicate the recovery efforts. Search and rescue operations are only just beginning. The death toll is expected to rise. Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
Meanwhile, crews performed dozens of water rescues in southern Texas as intense thunderstorms unleashed flash floods late Thursday into Friday. Now, fire officials from the city of Alamo and Hidalgo County confirmed at least 50 water rescues on Thursday. At one point, an emergency vehicle was unable to rescue a pregnant woman having contractions, but thankfully a fire truck eventually made it through the floodwaters. Now, haze continues to fill the air in the Carolinas as containment efforts continued on the Black Cove Complex fire. Now, the North Carolina Forest Service says crews have contained a southeastern portion of the Black Cove fire and a northeastern portion of the Deepwoods fire.
We have about 4 helicopters that are being used within our area. We also are having increased number of fires across western North Carolina, not just within our area, so those could go to other sections.
This is the highest risk fire in the country today, and we're seeing that in terms of the way everybody's coming together.
With more than 822,000 acres of severely damaged woods left behind from Helene, North Carolina Governor Josh Stein says another relief package could be on the way. And a judge orders national security officials to preserve their messages in the Signalgate scandal, while the Attorney General says the Justice Department won't prosecute. Fox's Caroline Shively reports from Washington. The lawmakers are picking up the pace as they approach the halfway point of the legislative session. Both chambers released their budget proposals this week. The Senate includes $200 million in funding for Florida's citrus industry and more money for a grant program to expand food banks. So this means the House is looking at the largest tax cut in the state's history. Speaker Daniel Perez announced a bill that would lower the state's 6% sales tax to 5.25%, estimating a $5 billion savings every single year. And Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves signing House Bill 1 into law. We're taking a closer look at how it will impact residents and visitors in the state. Number 1, it phases out the income tax. The grocery tax will also decrease by 2 cents on July 1st, but it does increase the gas tax by 3 cents per gallon over the next 3 years. All in all, Mississippi transportation leaders say that's going to give them about $170 million extra dollars.
Even at its full implementation will not erase the shortfall that we have from a budgetary standpoint, but it will allow us to escalate projects, and it will allow us to keep the capacity construction program alive and not have to move money from it over into the maintenance.
All the money from the increased gas tax is set to go to projects already identified in MDOT's 3-year plan. Well, coming up on Fox 10 Midday, students in Baldwin County are having the opportunity to connect with local businesses. What makes it unique? After the break, but first, let's check in with Jen.
And taking another look at your forecast, a live view outside down on Dauphin Island, noticing more of those cloudy, gloomy skies out there. Winds are breezy. It is only beginning to increase that humidity out there. They'll continue really out of the southeast, gusting up to 30 miles per hour later on today. But the temperatures a little cooler down on the island, expecting them to be maxing out in the lower 70s. But again, windy conditions will persist for today. I'll be breaking down more of your forecast details and the rain timing coming up when we come back.
Local businesses and set themselves up for life after graduation. Our Dacian Smith is in Loxley with all the details.
We're here in Loxley for the 3rd annual All Abilities Job Fair put on by the Baldwin County Public School System. And as you can see behind me, this room is absolutely filled with students from different high schools across the school system. And right now they're getting a chance to speak with people representing all sorts of different career fields. Places like Tanger Outlets, the Grand Hotel, Coastal Alabama. Students are getting a chance to interact with people from across all fields, and the goal is simple: to get them those valuable reps when it comes to applying for jobs, interviewing for jobs, helping them sharpen those skills that they're going to need when it comes time for them to enter the workforce after graduation. Students can talk to different career fields, and here in other rooms they're able to sit down, do mock interviews, and get feedback on their skills, their resumes, any and everything you can imagine that will be helpful for getting a job. Students are able to experience it here, and it's all about giving them the same opportunities that other students have so that they're just as prepared as anybody when it comes time to enter the work field. Now, coming up on Fox 10 News at 4 and 5, we'll show you some more sights and sounds from this event. You'll also hear from some of the students about what they hope to get out of this event and how important it is for them to be here. Now in Loxley, Dacian Smith, Fox 10 News.
All right, Dacian, thank you. Lots of great resources there. Now, the Mobile County Public School System wants parents and guardians to listen up. Now is the time to register your student for the 2025-26 school year, and there are some changes you need to know about. Mobile County Public Schools says beginning this year, it will require all students to show new proofs of residence within 60 days from the start of school. Now, for more information about how to register your child, visit mcpss.com/enrollment. On the drawing board the past few years. The plans are a waterfront park near Berkeley, a new animal shelter, and a public training facility. Now, the Berkeley Park, dubbed Berkeley by the Bay, is a long-term plan that city leaders hope to get done at some point. The other 2 projects have been hit by sticker shock. Now, the estimated costs for an animal shelter and a public safety training facility are both more than double initial projections. Well, straight ahead in your business headlines, new tariffs have car rental company stocks taking off. Plus, students across the Gulf Coast are heading back in time at Fort Condy today. Fox 10's Stephen Moody has all those details when we come back. Jen.
And also talking more about your forecast, and a reminder, days continue to get longer out there, so taking a look at those sunset and sunrise times. Sunset in Mobile this evening, 7:09, 7:06 in Pensacola. Hopefully we can see some bright colors through some of the cloud cover. And then waking up tomorrow morning, sunrise at 6:44 in Mobile, 6:41 in Pensacola. But I'll be timing out more of those rain chances that could impact your Saturday plans. That's coming up when we come back.
And new tariffs have car rental company stocks taking off. A big AI stock launches on Wall Street, and healthy snackers are skipping the chips. Fox's CJ Papa has more in today's business headlines. All right, thanks, Jen. Students from across Mobile, Baldwin, and Washington counties got a special treat today as they visited Fort Condy for the annual Colonial Day. Our Stephen Moody has more as the city was transformed back in time.
Welcome to the city of Mobile. Only hundreds of years ago, Fort Condy transformed this area Friday for students as they stepped off of the bus for Colonial Day.
We do this event every year. It's specifically designed for school groups. We show them different aspects of colonial life, what it was like here in Mobile from the 1750s about to the early American period in the 1820s.
Students were able to participate in old games like the ring toss and were even able to witness a sword fighting demonstration. There were so many activities to give them just a taste of what life was like back in the colonial days.
I think it's very important because it kind of ties to their school curriculum as well, especially fourth grade. It goes along with Alabama history. We try to do things that kind of help them reach content standards that the Alabama course of study gives them. So it's a great thing for schools to come to.
And it makes it fun for the reenactors as well.
And I love to see all of our volunteers and reenactors. It's a really great program.
Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
Well, spring is officially here, my favorite time of year here on the Gulf Coast. And with the gorgeous weather we've been having lately, it's obviously the perfect time for outdoor events. The City of Mobile Parks and Recreation Department is celebrating kicking off its Movies in the Park series. So grab your lawn chairs and blankets and head to Crawford Murphy Park on Ann Street. The fun will start at 6 and last until 9. And the film Despicable Me 4 will be shown as well. So you are encouraged to dress up in costumes and enter the dance contest for a chance to win some prizes. You can also tap in your inner Gru and create your own yellow slime. So there's lots to do at this event today. Free popcorn will also be available while it lasts. Now, we are just one day away from the annual Alberta German Sausage Festival, and it's happening this weekend, rain or shine, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. This event is usually held twice a year at Town Park, and not only is it a chance to get some great food, I love going every single year, but it's also for a good cause. It's a town fundraiser spearheaded by the Alberta Volunteer Fire Department, so the money is then used for improvements to the fire station and for the city itself. It's always a good time. The festival says they usually sell over, get this, 6,000 pounds of German sausage to tens of thousands of people who attend every single year. But if that's not your cup of tea, it's not just sausage. There will be plenty of other good food and drinks available, along with live music and even a blood drive, making it a true community event. And Touch a Truck is back this weekend as well at the grounds in Mobile. The event runs from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with a quiet hour from 10 to 11. This family-friendly event sponsors 2 local nonprofits, Adoption Rocks and Rap-A-Hope. Admission is just $25 per car. Well, straight ahead on Fox 10 midday, one whiskey brand is giving away a lifetime supply, but there's an age limit. We'll explain when we come back. One lucky winner.
But you have to be way older than 21.
The brand is holding a contest for fans who are 90 years or older for a shot to win its classic cinnamon whiskey for life.
So those interested have until March 31st to apply or nominate their favorite folk to go ahead and win that.
Now, you do have to send a photo of the contestant and an answer to the question, how do you keep the mischief alive at 90 plus? I would love to be there for some of those answers.
I would love to be there too. So I actually looked up the rules, because if you go to the rules, it tells you exactly what it is that you win. Okay. Yeah, because I'm curious, like, what do they consider for life or that? And so they actually can't give you liquor to win. It's cash prize of $2,400.
That is interesting.
So if you
You've
buy
done your research.
Yeah, so if you buy 1.75 liters of Fireball every month at about $20, then it covers you for 20 years, or sorry, 10 years. 10 years, yep,
That's
with
a long
that.
Time. Wow.
Yep, so.
All right. Well, in the meantime, farmers are recycling wastewater into fertilizer.
Yeah, but the process to turn the sewage sludge into food for crops may be leaving around some harmful chemicals.
Yeah, Fox News' Chanley Painter has more on this.
Well, going ahead and taking another look at your forecast, and just a reminder, right now is a great time to go ahead, download the Fox 10 weather app. That way you're staying updated with the forecast. Plus also, it's the weekend. We want to see what you're doing. Just a reminder, if you download the Fox 10 weather app, you just scroll down, then you'll find submit your pics and videos. If you just press that option, you'll have that green plus in the bottom there that says add media. That way you can go ahead and share what you're seeing. Plus also you can see what other folks across the Gulf Coast are sharing too. But let's go ahead and dive deeper into your your forecast of what I'm tracking out there. And still seeing some sunshine closer towards our coastal areas, but some rough surf out there. Those waves are breaking far offshore. It's not stopping all the spring breakers from getting out there and enjoying it. Please just make sure you're being cautious. Always know the name of the beach you're located on, where that closest lifeguard stand is, and pay attention to those beach flags and their meaning. Temperatures lower 70s, but look at those winds, sustained 18 miles per hour out of the east southeast. More of that humidity is on the rise. Feels like temperatures on the dot right now, but I'm sure that'll change heading into this afternoon. The rip current risk, it is high today, tomorrow, and Sunday. That surf height closer towards 3 to 4 feet. Water temperatures in the upper 60s, and temperatures today will continue to tick up above average, maxing out upper 70s, lower 80s. Will stay a little more mild heading into tonight with that increased cloud cover. It's trapping in the daytime heating that we saw, so it can't quite escape to the atmosphere with those clouds. So that's why we're going to see those upper 60s later on for this evening. And then daytime highs over the next few days, they'd go down tomorrow with those increased rain chances. But look at that. We quickly rebound on Sunday and Monday. Even going to see more of those daytime highs in the mid 80s, not feeling like March or April 1st is right around the corner. But I'll be talking more about your final forecast coming up in just a little bit. We'll also be back with 3 to know before you go. But for now, a live view down in D'Iberville, Mississippi from our Scarlet Pearl camera.
Riding. Patrick Cornell shows us the demolition in today's Take a Look at This.
This nearly 90-year-old radio tower is no more. The 400-foot tall structure erected in 1937 crashed down to earth in Bangor, Maine. The tower, once belonging to the King of Horror author Stephen King and his wife Tabitha. It was used to broadcast transmissions from a local radio station they once owned, which reportedly closed at the end of 2024, and the structure that stood for 9 decades fell with it as crews used heavy machinery to safely topple the tower.
The end of an era in so many ways.
These decades-old geckos are still standing and perhaps are the oldest in the world. Antoinette and Brucey Baby were discovered living on a small island in New Zealand, and get this, experts say they're 64 and 60 years old respectively, much older than the traditional gecko. Looking good though. The geckos were originally spotted in the 1960s and tagged by a research group, which is how scientists recently recognized those same lizards and figured out they'd been wasting away in paradise for a long, long time. While we're going back in time, check out an old coin collection that isn't exactly chump change, because it could fetch $100 million at auction. Wowza. The Traveler Collection features coins from more than 100 territories across the globe. The original collector spent the 1930s traveling, gathering coins along the way, eventually amassing 15,000 before landing in Europe. The coins were so precious the collector buried them underground to keep them hidden from the Nazis, and they remained there for 50 years. Now unearthed, the collection will be sold off over 3 years, with the first chunk of change being auctioned off in May. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Well, here's your 3 to know before you go today. The Alabama Crimson Tide setting a 3-point record last night in its win over the BYU Cougars by making 25 threes. Mark Sears made 10 threes last night on his way to a 34-point performance. The Tide is in the Elite Eight in back-to-back years for the first time in school history. Now, they will play the Duke Blue Devils on Saturday, and that tip-off is set for 7:49. And the Auburn Tigers looking for their spot in the Sweet 16 tonight as they take on the Michigan Wolverines. The Tigers beat Alabama State and Creighton in the first 2 rounds. Michigan beat UC San Diego and Texas A&M. Auburn is looking to make their 3rd Elite Eight appearance, while Michigan is looking to make it for the 16th time. Tip-off is set for 8:39 tonight, and the winner plays the winner between Michigan State and Ole Miss. Finally, people in the Northeast U.S. and Canada can look up to the sky for something special this weekend. A partial solar eclipse. It will be visible Saturday morning. Now, scientists say some sky gazers should be able to see a double sunrise, which is when the moon makes the rising sun look like it has 2 horns. Now, Jen, we won't be able to see this specifically. Have we had something like this on the Gulf Coast before?
We have. We've had solar eclipses recently. I think about a year and a half ago we did. We had that lunar eclipse just a few weeks ago. So always something cool to capture, but Visibility, regardless of what we have out there this weekend, not going to be the best because of that cloud cover. So let's go ahead and take a final look at our futurecast and what we're timing out there. Heading into today, again, some gray and gloomy skies out there, looking like it could rain at any point, but we will be dry. And then things change once we make it into the overnight hours. Spotty showers possible overnight. And then we start to see the strong line moving in. But look at this, it starts to break apart. So there will still be some isolated to scattered showers to begin tomorrow morning. The rain coverage will just drop off closer towards lunchtime. We'll see that lull heading into the early part of the afternoon. Still looking gray, gloomy out there, some peaks of sunshine. Here's where there's still some disagreements with the Futurecast model. This one doesn't bring as much rain coverage heading into our Saturday night and overnight hours. But again, other Futurecast models want to ramp up that coverage past 9 p.m. Saturday night. So just make sure you stay updated with us. We'll still continue to stay warm today, mid-70s tomorrow, then really warming up behind it. An unsettled pattern does continue here on the Gulf Coast as we really make our way into the springtime months.
Right. Well, Jen, my family's here visiting from the Midwest. They're actually watching behind the scenes today. Might have to take a rain check on the beach this weekend, but we'll find a good seafood restaurant.
They'll enjoy the nice conditions though.
All righty. Thank you for watching Fox 10 Midday. We'll see you at 3 p.m.